Hello, and welcome to the signs and symptoms you may be experiencing with ancestral energy. You see, we are all energetic beings, susceptible to the energy of others. It starts in the womb. For 9 months, we were exposed to the hormones, nutrition, and emotional state of our mother, taking on all of her energy. We didn't have a choice. We were conceived inside of her loving, sacred body. All her worries, joys, and concerns and excitement surrounded us. And that's where our ancestral energy began, because our mom was carrying her mother's energy, beliefs, and programming. There were even ancestral health conditions, pain, and suffering that was entering into us as we were in the womb. It became our DNA. Our cells were infused with it. Our nervous system, every system in our body was created from that energy. The DNA of your personal family trauma is being passed down from generation to generation. Scientists are now studying how the grandchildren of the Holocaust victims are impacted by ancestral energy, leading to grief, sadness, and pain. It's been written that they experience guilt around being alive. That guilt will then show up in every area of their lives. They can feel bad about being successful and doing well. They can experience a lot of sadness in their lives and not understand why. For example, if a family member committed suicide, you could be carrying that energy of grief and sadness. And that can contribute to unprocessed pain in your body, along with having thoughts about suicide and death. In my own life, my grandmother and mother lived in Sardinia, Italy during World War II. My grandfather was a soldier fighting at the front while she was home alone, raising 3 children, living in fear and worry about his life, struggling to feed her own family, and living in constant fear of the German soldiers who invaded her town. Can you imagine the level of fear that she felt and what impact that was having on her every single day? And back then, nobody talked about it. Everyone suppressed their feelings just to survive. That fear became a part of them, affecting their neurons, their programming, their DNA, in every system of their body. That fear gets passed down from one family member to the next. For me, I remember growing up with fear and worry and not really knowing why or understanding why I was nervous and afraid to try things. Another example is when a father passes away at the age of 59. His son, who has been healthy all of his life, works out every day, is a successful businessman, and appears to be healthy. And yet, at the age of 59, he discovers he has a brain tumor. Within a year, this man goes from being healthy to passing away at the age his father did, at 59. Also, there are some families who have a family history of allergies, and one family member or another is affected by them. There's families where one family member had a heart attack and then a son ends up having a heart attack. And it becomes a part of conversations being passed down from one generation to the next, saying, yes, heart problems run in our family. By just saying those words, it keeps the ancestral energy alive. Is this resonating with you? Can you see how your family history affects you today and may be running your life in your neural energetic system, and you don't even know it? For example, my mother lived with a lot of fear in her life. I still see it. She's in her 70s. Looking back, I also lived with fear about so many things. I was always worried that I was doing something wrong. I could never understand where it came from. The older I get, and the more I do this work, I realize that that belief came from my mother. She was always worried about everything. She worried about how she looked, what others thought, and the list goes on and on. I'm here today because I really want you to understand that all of this trauma impacts your body. It is so deep in your subconscious, you don't even know it's there. You don't even question it because it's so ingrained. It's just how your pain and your life are. So before we move on, please again remember to print out the journal prompt worksheet and grab your pen.